We're used to seeing Kerry King's opinions splattered all about the heavy metal news and the heavy metal media. It's like he's some sort of czar or president of heavy metal music, which some might actually agree with. But whenever Rolling Stone comes calling with their microphone, it's definitely one that's going to get a bigger audience and perhaps more mainstream appeal, or at least more mainstream attention. And Kerry has certainly delivered with that, considering the topic that was at hand was the 2016 presidential election that's taking place here in America, and his opinions on one of the candidates, and that being Donald Trump. He feels that Donald Trump is one of the biggest liars that he has ever seen in politics. He feels also that Hillary Clinton is the safe choice for the presidency come November, which I guess you could call that an endorsement, question mark. Don't think it's going to show up on her official Wikipedia page, but you never know. And really compare Donald Trump to the, sensationalism of the WWE, calling him the political version of the WWE because of that sort of in-your-face attitude. And he claims that middle America is deeply into that for some reason, and even though most politicians do lie, Donald Trump, he feels, lies directly to your face. So here's the real question throughout all of this. I mean, that was all flowing and eloquent, and I could just say, hey, go check out The Social Experiment, where we find out 5 reasons why people hate these candidates. It's in the description box below. Oopie daisy, already did that. Why do we care? Do we really actually care who Kerry King or any other musician is endorsing for president? Does it affect whether or not we listen to their music? And if it does, considering I have seen some very, snap judgment decisions where folks have just decided to stop shopping somewhere, stop watching certain movies, stop doing certain this or that based off of an opinion like that. Why? Why is it that something like that is the whole entire, fabric that is keeping together your sweater of love for your favorite artist or whatever it may be? It's really kind of funny that that's exactly what happens in some cases. You go onto the social media platform and see a controversial decision that goes one direction, and all of a sudden you see a swath of folks from the other side that state, well, I was shopping here for 17 years and then you did this, that's where I put my foot down. I mean, yeah, it is based a lot off of opinion and based a lot off of your own personal resolve. I, for one, don't shop at Walmart, but that's just a personal choice. I don't necessarily think that anybody else that shops there are bad people. Unless, of course, you're wearing your pajamas on the outside. And then I have to question some things. But really, whenever we've seen Dave Mustaine or Corey Taylor or Ted Nugent or any of the other heavy metal superstars that we love, men and women that we talk about every single day on this channel and every single day throughout our lives, whenever we see or hear them endorse a certain person for a political candidacy or endorse a certain decision or certain opinion based off a controversial subject, is it something that makes you actually, fume a little bit at one of your favorite artists? Does it keep you from wanting to consume their music and make you a little bit distant? Well, here's the funny thing about that. Kerry King might actually have one of the answers for this, but it is one that I'm going to bring under fire a bit. So let's take a look. After all of those first initial opinions that he gave to the Rolling Stone, they mentioned to him that he might end up offending some of the more conservative Slayer fans, and King's response was kind of this. He said that his opinion shouldn't be really encouraging anyone to vote for a particular candidate. And he further explained by saying that people just have to make up their minds and not be into things because of their friends or into things because of their spouse or their girlfriend. People have to be individuals. And later he then added that it sounds like that he was talking about religion, doesn't it? It's kind of weird how politics sort of do become a bit of a religion whenever it comes to an election year here in America. And really, it's kind of funny whenever you take a look at how the fan bases act surrounding an individual, be it Trump, be it Clinton, be it Sanders, be it whoever. It definitely has a little bit of that messiah complex that's associated with it. So King is kind of on the right track. We should be individuals about this, and we shouldn't let the endorsements of somebody else really influence our decisions. And really, I'll go one step further and say that we shouldn't let that affect how we feel towards them or their work, because that music still has that same effect. And so long as that music is, politically, free, something that does not say right in it, you should vote for Donald Trump or you should vote for Hillary, then what's the real harm? I mean, the music is still there. The music still has the same message that it did 20 minutes ago, whenever, right before you read this article and started typing your fuming response on Facebook or on, Instagram or whatever it may be, the music still has that same meaning. It's not like, Angel of Death now all of a sudden was written for a different reason more than 20 years ago. It's ridiculous. But here's the thing here's where I'd have to sort of challenge Kerry King a little bit, and that's mainly just because I don't know his stance on this. Kerry King's wife is a feminist. So my follow-up question if I was Rolling Stone would be, Kerry, I know your wife's a feminist. What are your thoughts on it? Are you a feminist? And the question, or should I say the answer to that question, would actually propel what I would state next. If he said no, then I would probably leave it alone. But if he said yes, I would then ask if it was because of his wife's influence, or if that was something that he arrived to on his own. Basically challenging his own logic just a little bit. A little bit of that what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And also a little bit of that idea that don't tell other people what to do if you yourself can't follow it. Either way, this is really starting to get a bit annoying in the overall political forum to really watch musicians and other folks come out and really announce their candidacy or not their candidacy, but who they are supporting for this election, as though we should give a crap, as though that celebrity endorsement should be the reason why we turn over to one side or the other. I definitely agree with Kerry's words that you shouldn't let somebody like him really influence who you are going to vote for in November. You should definitely take the time and study up on each of these two choices to determine which one is either the best. And also, you should also remember that there's, third parties that are out there as well. Or my personal pick for a president, a really cool rock. That really cool rock really rules. And, he's harder than Trump and has more cleavage than Clinton. What are your guys' thoughts about this? Does Kerry's words bother you? Does Kerry's words actually make you want to stop listening to his music? Do you think that Kerry is making the wrong decision by saying that Clinton is the safe pick? Because even though I'm no Trump fan, I don't exactly consider Hillary Clinton all that safe. But that's an opinion for another day. What's yours? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Cover Killer Nation, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.